I don't think you heard me.
Hey, what's going on guys? Matrox Gaming here and welcome to today's video. So after finishing the original Teen Titans series for the first time in many years, I first want to say that this series is awesome. I mean, all of us already knew that, but we know that as kids it was really just an awesome TV show where it was centered around superheroes and intense action and all that stuff. But most of us as kids were too immature to understand the depth and realism that was involved in this show, and one of the biggest examples of this realism is in Terra. Now, there's plenty of other videos talking about her, and honestly, they probably described her and her character arc much better than I will here, but I just couldn't waste the opportunity to talk about her character, especially because she is arguably the most realistic character in this show. Not only that, it's a toss-up between her and Robin as to who my favorite character is. Now, just know that all the things I'll say may not be entirely original, since once again, lots of other people here on YouTube have spoken about her for a long time now, but enough of this long intro, let's go on ahead and get to the meat of this video. I think the best place I can think of to start with Terra is her superpowers. We know that she has earth manipulation abilities, an ability presented to be extremely powerful to the point that it rivals Raven's powers to an extent. I mean, she was so powerful that she actually beat the Titans. That's a pretty impressive feat considering this is the same team that has the combined intellect of Robin and Cyborg, as well as the brute force that is possessed by Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire. She makes her first appearance in Season 2 of Teen Titans, where she is seen running away from a giant scorpion monster from the looks of it, and it appeared she needed help, but we soon find out this was only a test from Slade still looking for an apprentice. She befriends the Titans, mainly Beast Boy, as she was noticed for the incredible power she possessed. The issue though was that she didn't know how to control her powers, which was a huge insecurity she had because it looked like her powers came from her emotions, much like Raven's. And like Raven, she wasn't exactly emotionally stable, which caused her to go on a rampage at times, leaving waste wherever she went. Or so it's implied, at least. This causes her to never really have a real place to call home. Everywhere she went, she did nothing but break and destroy. And that's not what she wanted to be known for. Actually, she wanted a normal life. She didn't want the power she had, but knew that one way or another she had to control it in order to properly live with it. This emotional instability caused her powers to be both a gift and a curse she was forced to live with. Slade had sought her out for an apprentice for this reason, as Slade was presented to be a sociopath from the very start. So he basically told Terra a half-truth: go with him and she can learn to control her powers. Though she initially refused, she ended up leaving the Titans after Robin learned by observation alone that she couldn't control her powers, and in a fit of rage thought Beast Boy had told them and left, presumably to Slade. Because the next time we see Terra, she returns to the Titans with her new and improved control over herself. As it turns out, we find out later on that she was a double agent for Slade, a shocking revelation that ended up with Beast Boy furious with her, and rightfully so, at least. She thought that if she told Beast Boy herself of why she was really there, that he could forgive her and that he'd help her. This ended up not happening, with Slade being the one to reveal the truth. Realizing she had lost her friends for good this time, she falls back to Slade, knowing she had no one else she can turn to. This is where we see Terra pull a complete 180, as she returns again as a villain this time, ready to kill her former friends for Slade with no remorse. Though she claimed to have no regrets, this is where we see Terra in the worst shape possible. She's been abused physically and mentally, and it's even implied that she was abused sexually as well, all at the hands of Slade. Her new armor was attached to her nervous system so that Slade could control her if need be. This is where that half-truth I mentioned earlier comes to play. Slade is able to use Terra's powers himself by controlling her remotely as if she was a drone. You guys seriously need to understand that Terra never really had a lot of good things going for her. By the time she realized that Slade was just using her, she accidentally activated a volcano. Though the Titans wanted her to escape with them back home, she knew that she couldn't leave. This volcano was going to erupt at any minute and then made the ultimate sacrifice to save the city by using the full extent of her powers to stop the eruption in the process of her turning to stone, With all the horrible things she's consciously done, Terra knew that there was no way that she could ever return to the good side the same way as it would have been before, and rather than try and fight this truth, Terra simply accepts her fate and does one last heroic action by saving the city her friends lived in. And although she does appear in the final episode of Teen Titans as a normal schoolgirl, there was one issue with her, and that was that her memories were gone. But how? Why couldn't she remember anything? Fans believe that maybe she came back to life after the whole Trigon incident, and while that may be true, there's another theory that states she didn't lose her memories at all. This is a theory I genuinely believe in, by the way, because think about it. Most of the time, she doesn't make much eye contact with Beast Boy when they meet again, so that could hint at something. She remembers her friends and all the other Titans, but just couldn't bring herself to see any of them. She had done so much wrong to them that she felt greatly ashamed to even be in their presence. She didn't want to see them again because she knew that it would bring up bad memories, regardless of the fact that they had already forgiven her, but yet she just couldn't forgive herself. Terra's story arc in this show really is a tragic one, and that's not even the saddest part about her character. The saddest part is that at the very end of the day, all she really wanted was to control her powers. That's it. All this fucked up shit happened to her simply because she just wanted to learn to control her own powers, and her lack of control of her powers and her emotions by extension led her to be a prime target for people like Slade who only wanted to use her. And she had to suffer physical, mental, and sexual abuse because of it. Her character is very similar to characters like Sasuke from Naruto and Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. In the sense of Sasuke is that both have a special gift that got them hunted by one of the most dangerous people on the planet, being Slade and Orochimaru, and also ended up killing those same people once they realized they were just being used, even though they were both the apprentices of said people. They both betrayed their friends for power, and both claimed to have no regrets when deep down, it wasn't true at all. She's similar to Azula in the sense that both have great power, but deep down, both were very insecure because of said power. They were both used by people they looked up to, like Slade and Ozai, and were both physically and mentally abused as those same people wanted nothing but their loyalty, and for that, they were groomed to only follow them and manipulated them for the sake of their own goals. So as I wrap up this video, let Terra be a reminder to always be careful who you trust and who you follow. If something sounds too good to be true, it is, and even if they can help you, always make sure that you know and understand the full process. If they refuse to tell you all that will happen, chances are they're lying to you. And finally, never forget the people who were on your side despite your flaws and insecurities, no matter how much you tried containing them so that they don't become a problem later on. Anyway, that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, then don't forget to drop me a like and subscribe to the channel. My next videos will go back to me scaling different characters and stuff like that, and I'm going to try out versus battles too. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Matrox Gaming out. Peace.